I have to personally congratulate you on your first ever Grammy nominations. They were just announced in some other fields, so congrats.
What?
Are you feeling good?
Who, me? Oh my
Yeah.
God.
You've also received a few nominations of your very own. Congratulations.
You're joking.
Many artists feeling the love from the Recording Academy as the nominations for the 2021 Grammy Awards were announced, and etlive is breaking them all down. Hey everyone, I'm Denny Directo, and 8 albums will compete for the coveted Album of the Year, including Chilombo, Jhené Aiko, Black Pumas Deluxe Edition by Black Pumas, Everyday Life Coldplay, DeJesse Volume 3 Jacob Collier, Women in Music Part 3 Haim, Future Nostalgia Dua Lipa, Hollywood's Bleeding Post Malone, and Folklore Taylor Swift. The Record of the Year nods went to Beyonce's Black Parade, Black Puma's Colors, DaBaby featuring Roddy Rich's Rockstar, Doja Cat's Say So, Billie Eilish Everything I Wanted, Dua Lipa Don't Start Now, Post Malone Circles, and Megan Thee Stallion featuring Beyonce Savage. Song of the Year noms are Black Parade by Beyonce, The Box Roddy Rich, Cardigan Taylor Swift, Circles Post Malone, Don't Start Now Dua Lipa, Everything I Wanted Billie Eilish, I Can't Breathe Her, and If the World is Ending JP Sachs featuring Julia Michaels. And finally, rounding out the general field categories are this year's Best New Artist nominees: Ingrid Andress, Phoebe Bridgers, Chica, Noah Cyrus, D Smoke, Doja Cat, Kaytranada, and Megan Thee Stallion. Meanwhile, Queen Bee continues her reign as the most nominated female artist of all time with 9 nominations at this year's Grammy Awards, followed by Taylor Swift, Dua Lipa, and Roddy Ricch, who each earned 6 nominations. Brittany Howard, best known for Alabama Shakes, scored 5 noms for her solo work this year. But as you guys know, every year when the Grammy nominations are announced, you can hear Stan Twitter demanding a recount. And thankfully, I have a support group with me here of music experts and friends, actually, to help break down the snub, surprises, and more, including, you've seen her on VH1 and BET, Miss Gia Peppers. Hi, Gia.
Hi.
MTV's Kevin Kenny. What's up, Kev?
What's going on, Denny?
And Apple Music's Brooke Reese. Thank you guys for being here today. All right, we got to get into the big headline of the day, which I have to say was kind of a surprise to me. Beyonce. Gia, you have said you are the treasurer of the Beehive, and the numbers don't lie, girl. B scored 9 nominations on a year where she didn't even put out an album. Did this surprise you?
This was absolutely surprising to me as a music lover because we did not get an album from her. But on the other side of it, we did get Black is King, which was such an incredible offering. It showed such beautiful imagery. Some of the best cinematography we've seen of the year came from this visual album or the retelling of The Lion King. And so I think Beyonce and her team worked really hard and deserved that recognition. And to see Black Parade be nominated was major because in a sense it was Beyonce reclaiming her blackness and just showing everyone that at the end of the day she is a Black woman, whether you all see her as a mainstream icon or not. She's a Black woman first, and with Black Parade she put businesses on front, she put activists at the front of things, and so it was awesome to see this moment. I'm excited to see what will happen, but it was a major surprise.
Not to mention the fact that she is now, this year, a double nominee for Record of the Year for Black Parade and the Savage remix. Brooke, you know, Beyonce has only claimed 1 Grammy in her entire career in the general field categories, and that was for Song of the Year. Do you think she has a chance here in Record of the Year, or will those 2 nominations possibly cancel her out?
I think she does have a big opportunity to win here and really take home, you know, Grammys that she well deserves. Not only that, I think the Grammys is really showing us this year that, you know, mainstream artists, they matter. You know, these big artists, whether they release an album or not, you know, you have, you know, Beyonce grabbing huge nominations and then Taylor Swift following behind. And so the fact that she has been nominated so many times, I think they are going to give it to her, because what a letdown would it be, you know, to see all of these nominations for Beyonce that she so well deserves and then not to see her take home any of them.
all tea, no shade, but I remember when she was the most nominated artist the year she put out Lemonade, went home with 2 little Grammys, none in the general
Yes.
field. So I'm just gonna, you're right, I'm not gonna get too excited just yet. But Kevin, when you look at Twitter, one of the top trending phrases right now, or terms I should say, is robbed, and underneath it, The Weeknd. What did you make of The Weeknd being shut out of the Grammys this year?
Yeah, this was like absolutely shocking to me. I mean, I think After Hours was, I think, maybe his best work. He's had such a great year in terms of just award show performances, what he did in New York City at the VMAs, and of course what he did Sunday night out in LA at the AMAs. And I as a music fan really appreciate the artistry and sort of the experience and the immersive experience he gave us with that album. And yeah, I mean, I think the word timeless comes to mind when I think about After Hours. So I was really shocked to see him not get nominated for. I think he was completely snubbed. Am I wrong?
No. Yeah, what do you guys think?
I'm so with you.
0 nominations. That is insane for The Weeknd, who has been this crossover artist for such a long time now. The Weeknd is a mainstay in mainstream artistry, whether you like his music or not. He's been a complete selling artist. He goes on tours usually and sells out. So for the Grammys to do this, they are making a statement. I have been hearing that there has been some issues with The Weeknd and the Grammys reportedly. So this seems like a major statement against him, especially after such an incredible year of sales for him in this latest project. So I don't know what the criteria was and how they'll be able to explain this, if anyone on the board actually does want to explain, because we know how it is what it is. These are the nominations and y'all have to deal.
Absolutely.
I feel like Billboard charts don't always correlate with Grammy voters, but it is also hard to ignore the chart success of his album, and then also Blinding Lights. Like, you couldn't escape that. It was everywhere. So I was pretty shocked by that. But what other nominations or snubs surprised you guys this year?
I think for me, one of the big surprises, and maybe I'm alone here, and I am a fan of this artist, by the way, but Jhené Aiko's Chilombo as Album of the Year. I mean, I love this album, and I think she is such a fantastic artist, and it is really nice to finally see her getting her accolades and recognition, because she has been working, her butt off for many, many years. But I think I was just very surprised to see it among Album of the Year. It's just such a huge accomplishment and acknowledgement that I guess I'm a little intrigued. And also, 2020 has been a really hard year, and there's been so much music that's been coming out that sometimes you almost forget, what music came out this year versus, last year in Grammy cutoff time. And so for me, I think that was a little bit of a surprise for me.
Yeah.
Kevin, were you happy with the medal categories?
I did look at the medal categories. No, I think a surprise for me is Fine Line not getting an Album of the Year nom. I just think that's such another. I go back to like the timelessness, and I think I think the Grammys have historically celebrated and rewarded artists that do make their sort of their timeless work, and they also celebrate and reward, I think, the evolution of artists and artists that grow. I think Harry checked off all those boxes with Fine Line this year, and of course, Watermelon Sugar, which we might talk about, Inescapable, much like the Weeknd songs. So I was surprised at it's funny though, like almost to Brooke's point of like it's been such a crazy year with 2020, you forget what came out, what didn't. So much did come out that I don't know. So you put Fine Line in that category. Well, who do you take out? I don't know if you can take anybody out. So it's a weird year, and it's a tough year, I think.
It's tough because there's 8 spots, so you think that's more than enough, but then you realize about all the records that were left out. Gia, who do you feel like maybe deserved a spot in the main categories, the general field?
I actually I want to mention the rap album category, because there have been a lot of talk on Twitter about how difficult it is to be a Black artist in this day and age, and always have to deal with like the joys and the lows of the Grammy announcement moment, right? We always feel like there should be a little bit more recognition for certain artists, and Lil Baby, who was, if not one of the largest selling and largest streaming albums of the year that he had, his debut album absolutely did incredible. He was not given as much recognition as he should have been, as well as Roddy Rich. And so a lot of people in the hip hop community are like, okay, so what is the actual criteria? Where are the steps that we make sure that these young guys who are absolutely streaming in numbers that are breaking records all of the time get the same recognition as our Nas's, as our folks who have had long periods of success, but also don't have that same album rollout or press push that these younger guys have. And so I do think there is a bit of a surprise with D Smoke being nominated. His album didn't really do much. Not that he isn't talented, not that he isn't incredible, not that we didn't love seeing him on Netflix and winning those competition series, but that was a major surprise for him to be nominated in a category when his album just didn't do as well as, again, the Lil Babies or Roddy Rich.
I feel there's that double-edged sword a little bit too with a category like Album of the Year, where you look at this list, sure, on paper all 8 are very eclectic, but that means there wasn't room for that other hip-hop album. There wasn't room for that other pop album. Like I look at, Dua Lipa getting a lot of love today from the Grammys, 6 nominations for Future Nostalgia, but where is Lady Gaga Chromatica? You know what I mean? Like I felt like that's one of Lady Gaga really put out a masterful dance record, and Dua Lipa kind of fits in that similar category. So I question whether they cancel each other out, but that was probably the biggest snub for me was Gaga, although she did score 2 more nominations. That's all to say that there are a lot of exciting first-time nominees and newer artists. Among them, Megan Thee Stallion and Doja Cat. I think about last year's Grammys where it really was like between Lizzo and Billie Eilish, these breakthrough artists making history at the Grammys who are really up for a lot of the same awards, and that's similar to Megan and Doja. Do you guys feel like they might spread the love a little bit more, though, and maybe give a Grammy to both of them?
I'm so excited for Megan Thee Stallion. Like, she had a bomb year in 2019 and she rolled that right into 2020 when it has been a very difficult time to release music, whether we want to agree with that or not, and the fact that she's getting these nominations, I really hope that she takes home Best New Artist. I mean, she'll be the first, female rapper to do so if she does. And I think that this is her year. You couldn't go anywhere without hearing a song that Megan Thee Stallion is on or it's her track, And so I feel like this is her time. And I really hope that she does sweep. I have a feeling. It's in my gut right now. Last year, like you said, we talked about Lizzo. We talked about Billie Eilish. I knew Billie Eilish was going to come in and sweep, as she did, which it was so deserved. But I feel like this is, Megan Thee Stallion's year. And I'm so excited. And also to see an artist like Doja Cat come out. And, the way that she came out as an artist is absolutely genius. Never forget the Moo, the Cow song, all of that. Like, she had bangers behind her and she knew she had dope music. That was just a way for her to get people's attention, and she's so smart. And now it's shown off with all of her Grammy nominations as well.
The power of TikTok, huh? With these two in particular, with Savage and Say So getting so much recognition, don't you think?
Yes. No, I think TikTok played a major role, especially with the Savage remix and the Savage choreo that went viral. I tried to learn it myself, but I totally agree. This is the year of the Stallion. I don't know that she will sweep just because we've seen, lots of different people come in and have lots of nominations, but I do think she will walk away with Best New Artist, especially when she was included on the actual nomination special. And we saw that moment at the top of the show where she reacted and heard about her Grammy nominations. That would be the pinnacle of the start of her career. Megan is still a new artist, whether we know it or not. She's still in her early 20s. And so for her to just come out the gate with this beautiful recognition, she has a major hit song with Beyonce that is up for a major Grammy for her first time out. She just dropped her debut album, Good News, this week. What a week for Megan Thee Stallion. And after everything she went through this year, with the varying things that we have with Tori and all of the moments, she also is a person who's grieving the loss of her mother, who was also a rapper. So for me, I would really love to see her win this moment just for a good, solid win for Megan Thee Stallion.
And a good start to 2021 for her too, for sure. Kevin, you mentioned that Harry Styles' Fine Line, obviously it was shut out of the Album of the Year category, but he did score 3 nominations. He's the second, I believe, One Direction member to be competing at the Grammys to earn a nomination for his solo work. Do you feel like Harry Styles is on the verge of like a Justin Timberlake solo breakthrough at the Grammys?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're very different artists. Of course, you can draw the parallel of, former boy band members to now solo artists. I think Harry is as thorough and as true as an artist as we have today, and I think that he's, you know, we saw him with the whole conversation around the Vogue cover. I thought that was fantastic what he represented there. And I think, again, I hate to keep going back to this idea of music that will stand the test of time, but you know, plenty of people are in boy bands and plenty of people have success in that realm, and few, I think, are developing the career that Harry is now. So absolutely, I mean, I would say JT, if not bigger.
Oh, I love that. So
I'm
looking
with
at
you. I'm a Harry Styles stan.
Yeah, are you,
Let's
bro?
go.
He's got your vote?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. I'm with you, Kevin. I think his album stands the test of time because it is classic sounding. You know, there's vibes from the 70s in there. There's, you know, a modern take on it right now in 2020 as well. And so I wouldn't be surprised if he took home the award for Best Pop Album.
Yeah, and to that point that Brooke just made, I think that's kind of what differentiates him. And I'm a huge JT fan. You know, I had Justified back in the day, but I think Justin was. I think what's remarkable about Harry as an artist is this is a true sonic departure from what he did in One Direction, right? Justin, I think, started working with Pharrell and the Neptunes, and then sort of just, you know, kept doing that sound. And even later in sync albums kind of sound like solo JT records. But Harry is just incredible, to Brooke's point, because it does sound sort of classic, but also very contemporary and very different than the One Direction stuff.
Absolutely. You know, another artist, new artist, I should say, who really broke through this year and scored some major nominations in the main categories is Roddy Rich. Gio, would love to get your reaction to the year that he's had, and, you know, what are his chances come Grammy night?
Roddy Rich is a star, is a supernova, is one of those talents that only comes around once in a while. He has the flow, he has the production, he has the team behind him that knows what to do. And I think what we see with this glow up from this young kid who came up under, you know, so many incredible rappers, we are seeing somebody who's really shining in this moment, who had an incredible year with The Box. He had a major smash hit with The Baby. He's had incredible performances all through the last year on varying stages. He's really worked hard, and I actually interviewed him about a year and a half ago when he was just starting out and was shy and really not even able to look me in the eye. And to see how he's grown up is brilliant. I think he will walk away with at least 2 or 3 Grammys on come Grammy night because of the way that we saw the rollout and the push and the press behind his album. There's a lot of people in hip hop who are watching him and making sure that he's doing the right thing, but hip hop is absolutely watching this moment because, again, he represents a lot of guys that were not put in these major album categories. So I'll definitely be watching. He's a star to me, though. I stand Roddy Rich. If he needs anything, just tweet me. I'll be there.
He's definitely holding it down. I feel like his music came, and his message came at the right time. That's for sure.